Hello everyone and welcome back. It's been a couple weeks since our last video, Problems versus Challenges, and I have to thank many of you for contacting me with great feedback on how this information has already begun to change your life and your perspective, and how many of you are already seeing results daily. That is awesome. I thank you so much for sharing your wins with me. That's really why I do this. That's why we do this at all, isn't it? To work together and make our lives more successful and more happy, more fulfilled every day. So again, thank you. Now, our last video in the attitude adjustment section is called empathy. Now, we all know what empathy is, but the trick is making sure you use it instead of judgment. Now, I'm not kidding when I tell you, every week I get asked at least 10 times by clients and friends, how do I deal with the world and not get angry or frustrated all the time? Look, it's definitely a challenge. I mean, we have to live in the world, and if we want to be successful or happy, or both, then we need to learn how to cope and understand it. That's where empathy comes in. Now, when you're kids, you learn that sympathy is understanding what someone is going through, and empathy is actually understanding and feeling what they're going through. Now, I'm going to take it a step further today. Within the NLP coaching community, we have a saying, everyone is doing the best they can with the resources they have. This saying is designed to be simple to remember, but it has a complex meaning, which I'd like to share with you. You see, each of us has our own life. We have our own world that we live in, basically. We each deal with different challenges every day. We all have different preferences and opinions. And based on where you live, your support system, and the structure or society that you're born into, we all have vastly different understandings of life. Now, this doesn't mean that one person is right or another is wrong. It just means that we've experienced and learned different ways to behave or different priorities to build our life upon. So let me give you an example. How many times in 1 week do you get upset when someone cuts you off in their car or in line? Or they crowd into your personal space and don't even acknowledge you? Now I'm going to guess it's a couple times a week at least, and that's common. But it doesn't make you feel better, does it? And it isn't improving any situation by feeling this way, by getting frustrated. It's just confusing to understand what people are thinking sometimes. But let's imagine for a minute that you were to take a woman from Ethiopia and bring her to your country. Now, it doesn't matter whether it's US, UK, Canada, Australia, it doesn't matter. The woman is not going to have the same values as you. She's not going to have the same values or priorities as the environment she's in. And therefore her decision-making would seem strange to us. You see, where she comes from, her top value, the most important behavior in her life, is making sure that she and her kids have food every day. Look, she isn't worried about the next iPhone release, and she definitely doesn't care at all what Kanye or Kim are doing. The world she has experienced has provided her with a set of problems and challenges that shaped who she is and what her values are. Your top value might be to be the best real estate agent in your city. So you are focused all day on things like making sure you're productive, making sure that your social media presence is growing, that you're the top salesperson in the company, that you have the best website, the best business cards, and on and on. Your focus is on growth. Your top value is focused on being the best at your job. It has you focused on being innovative and creative and making intelligent business decisions. Our woman from Ethiopia is focused on survival. She's focused on making sure she lives to another day. Is this starting to make sense to you? Do you see that your resources, that means your experiences, your education, your support, your values, your beliefs, your behaviors, are all formed by the resources you have available to you? So try this. Let's imagine now we take our woman from Ethiopia and put her into your world, where the priority is to become the best real estate agent. How do you think she'd do? Not very well, right? I mean, she hasn't had the same training as you. She doesn't have the same mindset as you. She hasn't dealt with the necessary education, experiences, or resources to prepare her. It's easy to look at someone from a poverty-stricken third world country and have empathy because we live such vastly different lives. But now let's focus on your own backyard. Do you think that everyone in your city has been privy to the same resources as you? The same education, the same family support, the same challenges, financial support, opportunities? Not a chance. I bet that you can think of a dozen things that you have wanted to do, but for one reason or another, there were blocks that stopped you. And it's the same for everyone else. We're all doing the best we can with the resources we have. And I bet that you would agree that given new resources and the know how to use them, you would improve your life and improve the results that you're experiencing, wouldn't you? I mean, if all of a sudden I gave you $1 million, wouldn't you do your best to improve the quality of your life? Wouldn't you pay off all your past debts so you didn't have to worry about it anymore? Or would you buy that house you've always wanted? Help your family, your loved ones? Heck, maybe take a vacation? Build your dream business? Yes, you would. We do the best we can with what we have. But sometimes the stress of life causes us to forget that everyone's doing the same thing. Just because the results that you're seeing isn't what you want or expect, it doesn't mean that it's wrong. It may be the right step for someone else on their journey. So do your best to be a catalyst for positive change. Because listen, we definitely don't need any more critics or negative people out there hell-bent on kicking up dirt. So here's what I want you to practice this week. Instead of getting angry or impatient with someone when they cut you off or just because they do things that you don't do, I want you to do this. Number one, take a breath. And for a moment, remember everyone is doing the best they can with the resources they have. Number two, remember how it feels when it's you that's the person that's cutting people off. We've all done it. Been the person that's held up the line, been the person that unknowingly made a mistake that caused someone else stress. And it doesn't feel good when it's you. Do you like to be rushed or stressed? How bad does it feel when everybody's clicking their fingers, looking at their watch behind you? It's not good, right? So have empathy and remember that the world isn't picking on you. Most people are just trying to cope. And number three, be a part of the solution. Instead of complaining, going online and posting on Facebook and Twitter and asking a million questions about why people do something they do, start finding a solution. Put the same amount of energy into fixing the problem. Either do it by being silent and wishing the person best, or take the best appropriate actions you think you can for a positive solution. Maybe you open the door for someone whose hands are full, so everybody can get through faster. Maybe you actually let that person in the turn lane in front of you instead of trying to cut them off or honking your horn at them. Problem solved. Whatever you do, do it with the intention of making your world brighter and easier, and theirs too. When you can see the world with an empathetic mind, you begin to see past anger and past the lack of understanding. You start to begin to understand what people want and what they're thinking, and even understand what they might need. You become part of the solution instead of the problem. You know, when I embraced this concept, it radically changed my life. I was able to move past judgment, and I became a better person. And it's made my life much simpler and brighter. I wish the same for you. So this week, have fun. Remember, stick to the 3 steps and find empathy in your heart. I look forward to seeing you next time. Be sure and subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos. And remember, extraordinary is only a thought away.